Today I want to talk about first impressions and why they matter more than you think. Hi, I'm Jennifer Rist. I help ambitious professionals and leaders communicate with confidence, lead with clarity, and perform under pressure. So imagine this. You step into a meeting, you have your notes prepared, your smile is on, and confidence is high. But before you even open your mouth, the people across the table or across the screen if you're on Zoom or Teams, right? They have already sized you up. They've made a snap call on whether you're trustworthy, likable, and worth listening to. Unfair? Absolutely. Unavoidable? Completely. That's the power and, unfortunately, the reality of first impressions. So we don't get a second chance at a first impression, and science backs this up. The science of snap judgments, where research from Princeton psychologists Janine Willis and Alexander Todorov shows that it takes only a tenth of a second. A tenth of a second, that's so small, to form an impression, especially one of someone's face. So that's faster than it takes to send a text or I think even take a breath. A Harvard Business School study found that 80 to 90% of first impressions, they're based on two traits: competence, do you know your stuff, and warmth, can I still trust you? And here's the kicker. First impressions aren't just fleeting. A study published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin showed that even after interacting more deeply, people's initial impressions are remarkably sticky. Translation here: once someone decides who they think that you are, it takes some real serious effort to change their mind. So even if they get a very incorrect perception of who you are, they will stick with that unless you work extremely hard to change their perception. So why do things like this matter in your career, right? You think, oh, what does it matter? It's just a first impression. I haven't even proven myself to them. How can they even, have that thought process? But whether you're leading a meeting, you're pitching an idea, or you're networking on Zoom, your first impression, it sets the tone. So it can mean the difference between landing that promotion or being overlooked just by your maybe mannerisms, your tone, the words you use. In fact, Forbes reports that 55% of first impressions, they come from body language. So that's even more important, right? 38% from tone of voice and only 7% from your actual words. So that means how you show up is often more important than what you say. So there's a ton of power of body language and even hand gestures, right? Here's where it gets interesting. It's not just about standing tall and having great posture, right? Or smiling and looking friendly. It's all about how you move. Open gestures, open perception. Using visible, open hand gestures make you seem more trustworthy and confident. In fact, a study published in Psychological Science found that people who gesture while speaking are perceived as warmer and more persuasive. And also, hands visible, right? Showing the palm of the hands is an honesty signal. So it shows honesty to people. Evolutionarily, psychology research suggests that showing your palms is a universal cue of honesty and not a threat. You have nothing in your hands, right? Hiding your hands, like crossing your arms or hands in your pockets, it can signal that nervousness or defensiveness or strong insecurity. So show your hands. Make people see who you are and that you are speaking to them openly and honestly. And mirroring, that helps build rapport. I think sometimes we just do it by default. I find myself mirroring all the time to people that I'm speaking to that are, especially in physical proximity. Subtly mirroring the gestures of the person that you're speaking with, it can increase likability and trust, but just don't overdo it. Don't be creepy. You're building a connection. You're not mimicking or acting like, you're following every step that they're taking there. So you have to be mindful of that. But I think our bodies just naturally do those types of activities. And body posture matters. Standing tall with your shoulders back, it signals confidence and authority. Keep your head up, not down in your phone, not down on the ground. Lift your head, look like you're confident. Even if you don't feel confident, make it look like you are, right? On the flip side, that slouching or folding into yourself, it can unintentionally suggest insecurity or lack of engagement. So here's a fun fact for you. Research from the University of Chicago shows that people who use their hands when they talk are also better remembered by their listeners. So those gestures just aren't for show. They actually boost communication impact and make you memorable. Who would have thought, right? In a virtual world, impressions count too. And we're all in those environments where we're on Zoom or Teams, and we may be in person as well. So we need to be able to conduct ourselves in both types of situations. But if you think first impressions are only about a handshake and eye contact, think again. On Zoom, people are sizing you up based off of maybe your background and setup. Does your space look professional? Or does it look chaotic? Can we see your unmade bed in the back of you? Do you use a screen, maybe a screen that you're provided by your company? Also, camera presence. Eye contact through the lens matters more than you think. So sometimes we have all of those squares, right, all over our screen, and sometimes we're not looking in the camera itself, so it looks like we're looking all over the place, right? I know that's a tough one to get used to, but it's something that helps. Your energy and your tone really matter as well. So flat energy on a video makes you forgettable. Engaging energy makes you magnetic. So you need to bring your fire into your tone. And hand gestures on camera, keep your hands in the frame. A subtle wave, or at the start of a meeting, just saying hi or good morning and showing your palm of your hands means a lot more than that grumpy good morning, right? Using gestures while explaining, it could also make you appear more authentic and more connected to the group. A 2021 Stanford study even found that people experiencing Zoom fatigue, they rely on these nonverbal cues faster to judge warmth and competence. So your body language on video is amplified, whether you realize that or not. So what can you do? And we can't hide behind the camera and shut our cameras off and just have our, portfolio picture that might be 20 years old staring at someone. Here's how you can nail your first impression, whether it's in person or it is virtual. So you want to genuinely smile and not a fake smile. Studies show that it makes you appear more approachable and trustworthy. You want to use purposeful gestures. Keep your hands visible, natural, and aligned with your message. Stand tall or sit tall. Confidence posture, it communicates confidence before you even open your mouth, right? So smile, stand tall, sit tall, head up. You're going to win, even before the words come out of your mouth. Mind your energy. Warmth and enthusiasm, they win people over faster than a perfect elevator pitch. How many times have you heard somebody speak and maybe it's not about their words, but you just get that energy from them. And you just, it's almost like when we say we want the energy that we see from our kids, right? That's the same kind of feeling. So you want to give not crazy energy, but that energy that you're excited to be there. You have enthusiasm for the topic or what you're going to discuss. Or you just bring so much happiness and joy to the situation that people feel like they want to be around you. And prepare your environment. So your Zoom background is part of your brand. It is. So whether you have a nice environment in your home or your office or wherever you are, or you need to put something up as a fake prop in your view, keep it clean. Keep your space well lit and intentional. Use good lighting when you're on Zoom calls as well. It makes you look more attractive and better as well, whether you believe that or not. So the bottom line here is this: first impressions aren't about being fake. I don't believe in that fake it till you make it. That's not true. But we all have goodness, kindness, energy, excitement, and greatness within us. It's about aligning how you want to show up as a leader, a colleague, or a professional that you already are. You have it deep down within you. You may not believe it, but it's there, I promise you. And when you make those first few seconds count, you're not just being judged, you're shaping the narrative. So I hope that you got something out of this, because in business, relationships, and leadership, first impressions open the door. The rest of you keeps it open. So if you found this helpful, valuable, please consider sharing, please consider subscribing, and we will see you all in the next time.